We want to bring in now Steve Cook. He's a Kansas City police detective. He spent years infiltrating outlaw motorcycle gangs like the Bandidos. Steve, thanks so much for being here. So the initial reports were that this was some sort of dispute over a parking space. Then, as you heard Nick's report, something happened in a restaurant bathroom. You say that this is nonsense. What was this fight about?
Well, this has been an ongoing problem between the Cossacks and the Bandidos. Basically, what it boils down to is, like any other biker dispute, it runs to turf. These individuals are fighting over control of turf. The Bandidos have historically controlled Texas, and the Cossacks have stepped up recently. They've put on a Texas bottom rocker on their vest and basically kind of challenging the Bandidos' authority in the state.
When you say they put on this bottom rocker on their vest, that means that it says Texas, and that means that they're trying to claim that turf?
Exactly, and you know, that's what again, most of these conflicts are over when these gangs put these rockers on, you know, claiming dominion in a particular area. They're also claiming all the criminal activity that goes along with that. So it's obviously an affront to the other group that they're dealing with.
As we said, you've spent a lot of time in and around the Bandidos. How dangerous are they? What's their culture all about?
Well, you know, when I listened to a little bit of the tape of the high-ranking member from Texas that was talking about this not being the 60s, you know, this is nonsense. These guys are organized crime. They're involved in a laundry list of racketeering activities. They use drugs, they manufacture drugs, they sell drugs, they steal motorcycles, they extort people, they rape, rob, and murder. These are not good individuals, and you know, the assertions that they make that they're just some fraternal group out for a, you know, get together is ludicrous.
Is this a uniquely Texas problem, or are these gangs in every state?
Yeah, virtually every state we have outlaw motorcycle gang activity, and of course worldwide. I mean, motorcycle gangs are the only export of organized crime from the United States to abroad. So yeah, it's a big problem everywhere, and you know, some areas more so than others, but there have been multiple documented incidents just in this past year.
How seriously, Detective, do you take the threats that there are other gang members who are now headed to the Waco area to sort of continue this fight?
Well, you know, definitely there's going to be other gang members show up to the area. A lot of reason for that is to backfill the membership, if you will. You know, guys are obviously taken off the street, getting locked up, so they have to bring some people in to kind of, you know, fill the ranks. So I think you're going to see that happening. Plus, you're going to have funerals going on and things like that. So, you know, you are going to have an influx of people.
Because, Detective, what's so striking is when you look at the video of that melee there, the police, though they were out in force, look like they're outnumbered. I mean, there were hundreds of these gang members. So how can police be prepared for what might happen in Waco?
Well, you know, it's like with any other situation. You've got to take them one at a time, unfortunately, because it's very difficult to forecast. I mean, nobody could have forecasted this situation, especially to the degree of violence that occurred. So, you know, the intelligence sources are out there working. I know Texas DPS will have analysts working on this, as well as, you know, biker investigators from across the country will be tracking information, communicating with you know, current members who are sources and former members, for that matter, that have information, and just try to kind of put a plan together.
I mean, you say nobody could have forecasted this, but didn't police have some sense that there was something brewing and that things were percolating there? Could this event have been prevented?
Well, I don't think it could be prevented. And when I say you can't forecast, these groups can fight at the drop of a hat anywhere that they choose. And you know, you can't stop them under the current laws from congregating. It's being a member of one of these organizations in and of itself isn't a crime, so you can't really stop them from doing that. And you know, unfortunately, the Twin Peaks area was the location where this happened, but it could have been anywhere.
So, Detective, what's the answer here?
Well, I think the real answer here is to get some help from the government, and I'm not talking about from the law enforcement side. I'm talking, actual, the federal government from a politics standpoint, getting somebody involved where they can kind of look at these organizations and say, hey, based upon the conduct, based upon what we know about them, are these really individuals that have any legitimate purpose? They're obviously gangs. They're obviously involved in violent criminal activity. Maybe it's time to look at, doing some bans on these organizations like they're trying over in Australia and parts of Europe. And again, based upon the violence that they're engaged in.
Well, you are one of the foremost experts on all of this. And Steve Cook, we appreciate you coming on New Day to share it with us.
Thank you.